Hello there, BoBo, the Bitcoiner is back. Today I'm going to explain what is a hard fork. Many of you may not experienced the hard fork on Bitcoin that happened on the 15th of November 2017. At that time, Bitcoin transaction was quite slow at 7 transactions per block. Bitcoin fundamental is one megabyte block will be mined at approximately 10 minutes, and each 1 megabyte block contains less than 1,000 transactions only. So one sector of the Bitcoin developers pushed to increase the block size to 8 megabyte instead of 1 megabyte per block. The reason, with 8 megabyte block, it means about 8,000 transactions per block can be mined in the same 10 minutes. Logically, it means that 8,000 transactions can be mined in one block of 10 minutes. Not a bad suggestion, right? But Bitcoin core developers are against it. The reason? It compromises the Bitcoin security, which is the ultimate importance of the Bitcoin network. Moreover, once you go on that road, there will be no ending. Later on, as transaction volume increase, you have to increase to 60 megabyte, then 32 megabyte, then 64 megabyte. There will be no end to it. By changing the protocol, Bitcoin security will be at stake. So on the 15th of November, the two camps, of developers decided to split. This is called the hard fork, HARD, which means Bitcoin blockchain will be split into two chains. The core developer maintain the name Bitcoin as it is, and the other camp is named Bitcoin Cash. It must be noted that Bitcoin decentralized blockchain is not backward compatible. In other words, once a transaction is recorded in the blockchain, it cannot be changed or rewind backward. It will always permanently be fixed and transparent for the world to see. The interesting part is when the blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain split on the November 15, 2017, those who has one Bitcoin at original Bitcoin blockchain will also have one Bitcoin Cash. That means if the Bitcoin blockchain has 1 million Bitcoin by the Bitcoin holders, both Bitcoin holders will also have one Bitcoin Cash in the new Bitcoin Cash blockchain. While most holders are quite concerned with the hard fork, they are also happy to have the additional Bitcoin Cash. What happens next is a new adopter can choose to buy or transact in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. Since the chain is split on the November 15, 2017, the longest chain of block will decide which is a better Bitcoin. As you can see today, Bitcoin Core won the battle. Bitcoin price now is around 80,000, whereas Bitcoin Cash is only $330 per coin. Because Bitcoin is trusted in terms of security and decentralization. And this is despite the Bitcoin transaction fee is more expensive, especially during the network congestion. Another interesting note is after Bitcoin Cash went on its own chain, the Bitcoin Cash community was divided again over how to scale the network. So another group led by Bitcoin SV, Satoshi's vision, aimed to increase the block size to handle more transactions. Currently, Bitcoin Cash is at 32 megabytes per block, but Bitcoin SV block size is up to 2 gigabytes, but value at $32.72. Bitcoin Core do not go down that road. Prefer to stay at its original 1 megabyte block, letting the layer 2 protocol do the scaling by clarifying and verifying transaction off-chain, then push to the main chain to do the final proof of work and record it into the blockchain. So with layer 2 like Lightning Network, Bitcoin Network is now able to process millions of transactions per second compared to Bitcoin's main blockchain, which processes around 7 transactions per second. Now, this means that you can buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin, as demonstrated at El Salvador. Of course, there are other layer 2s for Bitcoin network like Liquid Network, Stacks, Rootstock, etc. It is worth to note that Ethereum went through the similar hard fork in 2016 when Decentralized Autonomous Organization DAO was hacked. The Bitcoin Classic maintained the code of law and refused to reverse the hack, whereas Ethereum itself went ahead to reverse the hack. In fact, most of the altcoins went through a similar hard fork whenever there is a hack to reverse the blockchain record. How can it be trusted in that way? Bitcoin Core will never do that. Okay? Bitcoin has never been hacked so far anyway. Bitcoin will never reverse whatever is registered on the decentralized blockchain, maintaining its code of law. That's why people trusted Bitcoin Core all these years. You understand now what is hard fork? Very interesting. There will be a lot of hard fork going forward into the future, but I don't see anything from the Bitcoin network itself. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, which is educational. See you next time. Bye-bye.